What's going on, guys? Hey, thank you so much for having me today, Vaughn.
Stoked to be
I've
here.
been pumping it on the socials. I've been really excited to come here.
Yeah, dude.
I've known you guys and your family for quite a while. Before we jump in to talk about communication today, I always like to let people know how I met the people who I'm speaking with. And it's cool with you because the way we met is, like, fun fact is I actually met my wife at your house when we didn't really know each other.
Yes, you did.
And you didn't give me a heads up, but I'm going to let that go because we ended up getting married and it all worked out great. But I was at your house for a dinner. You invited a couple of people over. Courtney rocks up, which is like the hot chick from church. And I'm in trackies, beanie, got my daughter there looking like crap. Fast forward a couple of years, we got married, so it all worked out. But that's how we know each other. You helped me to meet my wife.
Help facilitate a beautiful beginning. But that's the thing, man. If you can bring it in at Tracky Dax.
That's what I thought.
If she's buying in at Tracky Dax.
If she likes me, but she was having the same thoughts too. She told me later, so I feel that was pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
So thank you.
Pleasure, man.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's great to be here.
Let's dive in, man.
Yeah.
Like, you are honestly, I don't want to blow your head up. I don't want to make it awkward, but you are I've heard you speaking. I've heard you speaking in person. I've heard you speaking online, and you are by far one of the best communicators that I think.
Thanks, man.
Is around.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
As a small business owner, my content that I'm trying to produce is to help encourage and help other small business owners to grow their business and just do well. So as a small business owner, I've been in business since 2019.
Yeah.
One of the key points that I've found over the years to win work is definitely comes down to communication.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the feedback I get from my customers. We went with you because you communicated through the whole process. And I by far have not got this down packed, but I would love to learn more about it. So that's why we're here today.
Yeah, well, dude, and you do it really well. Like when you came out and did our house, that was one of the things that I was super aware of, but impressed with was that level of communication, particularly in that trade space as well. So many tradies not so good at communicating, and if there's a weather issue, if there's a problem, but I wasn't even there.
Yeah.
But I didn't need to think, oh, is he still coming? What's going on? What does he need? You'd already organised access. You know, where everything was that you needed access to. Is there a dog? Isn't there a dog? What are we doing? The specifics of it. And so it was super clear. And I was just like, I could just copy and paste, give that to Leash and my wife. I could give that to her, and she's like, great, this is good. I don't need to think about it. And I think that's something that's so missing, but it's so important.
Yeah, 100%.
Like when you're solving problems, which is what business is.
Yeah.
Man, I don't want to have to think about the problem anymore. I want to go, cool, I have let go of this problem.
Yeah.
Someone else is taking care of it.
You're exchanging monetary value
exactly it.
for that problem to go away for you.
And that's how it felt. It just felt like from the second it was like, right, go. Nothing was too hard. Nothing was missing, and it was great.
That's cool. We're just sitting here in an encouragement session now.
Pump the tyres, pump the tyres.
Now we're pumped, now we can talk.
This is good.
Nah, so good. So tell us a little bit about, like, you and Leash, your wife, have a business. You guys have a small business, which is a shoot location on the Gold Coast, which is epic, dude. Like, that's what we clean for you with the pressure cleaning. That is awesome. But you're also here with Expert Project, is that?
Yeah, Expert Project.
There we go, look out. So give us a little bit about, like, what does your day look like? Like, what problems are you solving?
So yeah, I mean, we solve the problem of, like, the solopreneur. So a lot of the people we work with, small business owners as well.
I like that, solopreneur.
Solopreneur.
All right,
yeah,
I'm gonna use that.
It's like them and maybe a virtual team member or one or two smaller team members to grow businesses. But you know, like yourself, they've got something that's really valuable, something that people need. But a lot of people we work with don't know how to articulate what their offer is. They don't know how to use that in terms of marketing and messaging. And the greater majority of them don't know how to sell it. They just sort of make it up and wing it, or they're living off referrals and sort of inbound opportunities. And so we help them create that into a predictable, consistent cash flow.
That's awesome. I guess that's the problem that most, especially small business owners, have, that don't have the funds yet to hire account managers and salespeople. Is they're great at what they do. They have an amazing service, but how do you project that to the public and turn it into a sale? Because without a sale, you don't have a business, I guess, right?
Yeah,
you just got a hobby.
You've just bought yourself a full-time job.
Which is this podcast for me now. We're growing interest, so this is a hobby. This is awesome. I could use this today.
Yes, but but it's a full-time job, and it's like
100%.
what? Like honestly, if you're watching this and you're thinking about starting a business, don't do it, because it's not for everyone, and it is hard work. And
I'm a strong believer though that everybody should try, because I think it's like, I spoke about this in my last podcast, it's like a rite of passage. Like I don't think business is for everybody, but I think everybody should have a go to some extent, because it makes you a great employee when you start to understand, oh, this is harder than it looks.
Yeah. Well, and you appreciate more how hard it is for those opportunities to come in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I'm an employee in Expert Project.
Yeah.
I'm a business owner, and I've had previous businesses, and we've got our shoot location as well. So the appreciation of what it takes to bring an opportunity in, even before the sale, and the work that goes into it. And it's like we've got a big thing about celebrating sales. We've got a huge sales culture.
You got a bell?
We do upstairs.
Yes,
It's a massive
awesome.
bell.
Yeah.
And I was in a workshop this morning, and someone made a sale, and it was like, ding, ding. And it's like, hold on, pause, run upstairs. Oh, if you're going to ring the bell, you're going to ring the bell. Like, just yank that, like you're trying to pull the arm off it. But you've got to celebrate the wins, because we know how much work goes into it. And even with our members, we celebrate their win. Doesn't matter where it comes from. We know the work that's gone into getting 100%. It. And so it makes you a better employee. But if you're just doing it because you're like, oh, I could easily earn this much money out there. If you don't think about the overheads and the expenses and the 100%. Advertising and all that.
Even having a beautiful studio like this, like an employee that may not understand that would walk in like, oh yeah, this is where we're working today. I walked into this place, I was like, my gosh, this is one of the best studios.
Thanks,
and
man.
I'll take some video around later to share with everyone. This is one of the best setups that I have seen in such a small little space that you guys have for this particular room. Like, my gosh.
It's a bit of fun.
Wow. This is like, aspire to get a studio like this. Is incredible. Anyway, so tell me, if we're going to try to communicate with the customer, we're trying to get a sale, I guess we've already got the customer coming in if we've gotten to that point. So we're a bit of the way there. How can we communicate ourselves and our brand in a way that's going to, help to close that sale?
Yeah, man. I mean, there's layers to it. I think the fundamental is be human. I think what we see. So predominantly we work through LinkedIn and social media platforms. What tends to happen is people on those platforms forget how to be human. And so, like, LinkedIn's a great example for it, right? How many times have you gone onto LinkedIn and at the end of their name, they've got their doctorate and all of their letters and their bachelor of my BSA, TT, whatever it is. Like, they've got a whole alphabet at the end of their name. It's the equivalent of walking into a business breakfast holding all of your diplomas up. And that, if you thought about it like that, you'd be like, that's weird. That's dumb. Like, I'm not going to do that. But for some reason on social media, we shift, we send messages like, oh, I hope this message finds you well in these uncertain times. Like, who speaks like that? And so it's being human and remembering how to be human in our communication. And so when I see someone send me a wall of text, I'm like, what would you say if you were saying that out loud to me? Like, if one of our members is like, oh, here's my offer. It's like, great, now say it out loud. Oh, gee, that took me 9 minutes to read. So cool. Now say it in 90 seconds. And so I think that the fundamental piece of it is getting back to being human in what we do and how we talk and how we engage with people.
100%. I guess that's a great point to lead into, like, being a human, because everything you see on the internet right now is AI can do it, streamline your business, yada, yada, yada. Like, what's your take on say, like, ChatGPT and AI and all that sort of stuff?
I love AI, but AI without a strategy is it's like owning the Encyclopedia Britannica at home, but not using it. Like, just because you've got an AI, and I liken it to Coke and Pepsi Max. So I'm one of those people that if you put a glass of them in front of me, you blindfold test me. I know the difference. I know the real thing from the other thing. Don't want to upset all the Coke and Pepsi Max fans. But it's like that, I think, particularly in this world. So there's two things, right? one, lockdowns and COVID, everyone became an influencer.
Yeah.
Everyone got a hold of one of these things here, and now, oh man, I'm a coach.
Yeah.
I'm a life coach. I'm a spiritual journeyist,
Yeah.
or whatever we want to call ourselves.
Everything.
So everyone got a platform.
Yeah.
Social media, we all have all these platforms. So everyone's doing it, so there's a lot of noise already. Then ChatGPT came along, and it's just amplified noise.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have a strategy going into it, if you don't have clarity around what your offer is and what you do and the benefits of people working with you, ChatGPT will just churn out more of what you put into it.
Yeah.
So if you can put intelligent data into it, it can give you intelligent data.
Yeah.
If you can put, intelligent content into it, it can give you great micro bits of content. It can be really helpful. And all those AI platforms are great. But what goes in is what comes out.
Yeah.
If you put the fake in, you're not going to get the real out at the other end.
That's right. I remember seeing ChatGPT, everyone was talking about it, and I was like, okay, so I downloaded the app, and I was like, what do I say to this thing? And at the time, I was trying to win more townhouse work. So I was like, top 10 townhouse strata companies on the Gold Coast, and it gave me that information in 30 seconds. And I was like, with emails, phone numbers, everything, I was like, my gosh, I've just saved half a day.
Yeah.
Of searching. So I was like, stuff like that, amazing.
Brilliant. And I think people, when it first came out, just used it as a equivalent of a Google search. Yeah. And it's like, no, I want, what are the top 50 companies in Australia currently earning over 50 million in annual revenue?
Yeah.
And so it goes and finds really good data.
Yeah.
But again, better questions get better answers. 100%. I mean, you get this on podcasts, right?
Yeah.
If you tell me about your business.
Yeah.
Oh, my business, it's
the same.
Better question will get a better answer, whether it's an AI platform, ChatGPT, or better content thrown into the video editing platforms will give you better content back out.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw something great about that. The owner or part owner now of Culture King, Simon.
Gold Coast guy.
Yeah, Gold Coast guy. Simon Beard or Bird, I think it is. But he was talking about in a world where AI is becoming more popular, the authentic videos are going to stand out among the ones that aren't.
No, absolutely.
I use an editing app that it's just so basic. It's captions, and I put my video to it, puts captions up, and you have the option to auto-generate a social media post. Yeah. Sometimes I do it, it's good for the hashtags, saying I push it. I've never once shared that because it's just not how I talk. And I'm like, if I put that up, it might have a great point, I'll use that point and then put my own language to it. Hey, legends, because that's how I talk. That's how I am if you meet me in person.
Well, it is. And I think that's the biggest part to it. And that's the same with any communication though, right? It has to be the same version of you that I'm going to get there as I'm going to get over here.
Yeah.
And you would have known this, like me talking from a stage. The goal was always to be, if I'm speaking on a stage in front of a larger audience, it's the same Vaughn that you would hear from there as you would face to face.
Yeah, around the dinner table.
Around the dinner table.
My wife.
Yeah, maybe a few less cuss words on the stage as there is around the dinner table, but that was it. It was just it's got to be real. It's got to be authentic.
100%.
People buy into that.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Oh, dude, 100%.
You can feel it.
Yeah,
100%. Look, show me some stuff. You got some cool technology here, man. Walk me through. As a small business owner, I'm wanting to, at the moment, I'm usually booked out 6 months ahead. I'm taking bookings for July. I'm scared. I need to get some sales. I need to communicate what I'm selling. How do I do that?
Okay, so let's do the fun thing here. We love triangles. Yeah. Everything's triangles around here. So if I was to break communication down into three, so this is
Illuminati.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the Yeezy on it. Comms and business. I think where people don't necessarily get this right is that there's a few factors. There's the obvious what in business, and this is a lot of the authenticity that you speak of.
Yeah.
When I read a lot of what people are talking about in business, the what sounds like purple, monkey, dishwasher. This is what I equate it to.
Yeah.
That is like, I've got, in your business, for example, we've got 7,000 PSI with 4 billion brushes that it oscillates at a gigaflop per second. And it's just like, I don't care. You're
Yeah.
speaking in absolute numpty talk.
Yeah.
And so people get caught up in this, oh, I've got to be unique. I've got to be, it's like, no, what do you do?
Yeah.
Bare ass minimum.
Yeah.
What is the BAM? What do you actually do?
Yeah.
Tell people what you do.
I was guilty of this. I used to write on every post, drill out this hole with 5mm drill bit, blah, blah, blah. And then I remember I changed my Instagram. I felt this without having any knowledge of this. And I was like, basically, we fix roofs.
Yeah.
We fix and we paint roofs.
Brilliant. And they look amazing.
Yeah.
And you don't have to put any effort into it.
And then the pictures do themselves. The pictures talk more than what I'll dribble.
But I think as well, your what is translated so well in those before and after posts.
Yeah.
Because you cannot deny it.
Yeah.
So having a clear, what do I do? Well, what is it? Roof cleaning. What does it do? It cleans roofs.
Yeah.
Why is this helpful? Well, why do I want that? It'll increase your land value. It'll reduce the leaks. It's going to reduce your maintenance costs. Like, it's really clear.
Yeah, minimise mould, health benefit, whatever it may be. Yeah.
Benefits. People get caught up in feature.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a team of 7.
Yeah.
And one of them holds a ladder.
Yeah.
I don't give a rat's how
Doesn't matter.
I don't care how.
Yeah.
As a consumer, I just want the outcome.
Yeah.
So being clear on our what is so important.
100%.
Because if you call me up and you're like, hey, V, man, I've got Purple Monkey dishwasher.
Yeah.
You need one.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So getting that what super clear is just, it's massive in what people do. I think another thing that's important in this is how we do it.
Yep.
And this is verbal and non-verbal. So we already talked about that being human element. But as well, I think the other how that we see is, and it's that authenticity, like, you're a super cash guy, hey legends, like, and I love, I don't know if it's at your home. I saw, like, one of your ones was an interview and you were talking with Courtney.
Yeah.
Is that your home?
No, that was at, so we use a filming crew called Cooper's Creative. Yeah. That was just at their office.
Free plug.
Yeah, there you go.
Creative.
Legends.
But like, it's clean and it's crisp.
Yeah.
You know, I think coming from COVID and lockdown times, people got really comfortable with, oh, well, I'm at home.
Yeah.
And, oh, the house is a mess, but, you know, lockdowns, what you going to do? And during that time, cool, great.
Yeah.
But we've come out of that now, and I think a lot of people are still in that mindset.
Yeah.
And that mindset isn't just about the office and the background, it's about how they dress and how they present.
Yeah.
And I heard this great quote from our owner here, and he's like, big businesses do business with big business.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do business with a guy who looks like he's still in his bedroom wearing a hoodie and just like with the camera, you know, like the zoom camera up the nostrils.
Yeah.
Like, there's no effort's gone into it. And I think how we deliver non-verbally as well as verbally is so important.
Yeah.
So your stuff, your content is crisp, it is clean, it is sharp.
Yeah.
Like, it's not cluttered, it feels professional.
Yeah.
But it's got that casual Aaron feel to it, right? We're targeting companies that are doing multiples of millions.
That's right,
so we're uniformed up.
Yeah.
You know, it's still like, it's a casual polo.
Yeah, of course.
But everything's branded up. Everything's black.
Yeah.
Black and gold everywhere.
Yeah.
And so our non-verbals match that.
Yeah.
And then our verbals, like I said, we're human.
Yeah.
We're just having
You'll
a
deal with a
conversation.
business, but within that business, you'll deal with people.
Yeah.
Because I'm a strong believer that people do business with people they like.
That's it.
And people they can relate to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, well, and it's like, so LinkedIn again, it's considered a B2B, a business to business platform. Whenever we're working in it, we tell people it's P2P.
Yeah.
It's person to person.
Yeah.
It is.
There's still a person behind that screen.
Yeah, it is. And it is that virtual business breakfast, that networking breakfast. So behave the same way you would if you walked into a room at a business breakfast. If we meet for the first time, I'm like, hey man, I'm Vaughn from the Expert Project. What's your name?
Yeah.
Like, cool, what do you do? I'm taking interest in what you're doing. Whereas on LinkedIn, and I'm sure there's going to be people that can resonate with this, you connect with someone and you get this 7-page manifesto.
And then they've got your email.
And they just pound away at it. It's just like, you've got to be kidding. It is person-to-person communication. So the how is just so important in that, man.
100%.
And then just to close out, the Illuminati triangle, the when. I think this is something that people don't get. Like if you think about it, particularly in a business sense, right?
Yeah.
So in business, you've got your funnel, and you've got your layers as people come in. You've got your network at the top. You've got people who become leads, who are interested in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Then you've got, they're sales qualified leads. So leads are kind of market qualified. They're interested in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Sales qualified down to sold. And when you communicate is so important. And for this simple reason, dude, Google and ChatGPT and all of the internet has proven this one simple fact. Information just makes people dumber.
Yeah.
The more you get, the dumber you get.
Yeah.
Or if that upsets people, me saying it that way, the more information doesn't make it easier for people to make decisions.
Yeah.
The more
it's like
info,
an overload.
Yeah. The more info you give, the more questions they've got.
Yeah.
So at the top level of the funnel, I'm not communicating all of the minute details. At the top level of the funnel, it's like, hey, we clean and repair roofs.
Yeah.
Great. You're not saying we clean and repair roofs. We're available Mondays through Thursdays, but we're currently booked up this month, so it'll have to start in June. And too much information. So when we communicate is massively important. When am I talking about dollars? I'm not talking about dollars till I know if you actually need this.
Yeah.
Because let's figure out what you need. Mm. Oh, I need my roof cleaned. It's like, oh, I need my car fixed. Yeah. How much will it cost?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it going ting ting ting?
Yeah.
Is it going wob wob wob? Until I see it, I can't give you a price for it. Mm. So there's no point in me jumping at the front end and going, oh, prices from this.
Yeah.
The only reason you would mention price at the top is if you're racing to get to the bottom, the smallest dollar amount.
Yeah.
And if that's your business model, it's crap. Dude, the race to the bottom is the dumbest business model I've ever seen. We're cheaper, best prices guaranteed.
In my industry in roof restoration, it's everywhere. You would have seen thousands of street signs. They're getting cheaper and cheaper. And I'm like, you cannot even buy the paint for that price. No. Like, this is gypsy raw if I've ever seen it. But it's everywhere. And it is exactly that. It's a race to the bottom to be the cheapest to get the job. And then we go around and we fix them all up later. And unfortunately, the customer pays triple because...
Yeah, and they don't realise what's going on, or it's the variation mindset.
Yeah.
So, you get a trade in and it's like, we can do it for cheap.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, variation. Oh, no, I didn't include petrol.
Yeah.
Oh, we got redirected that day. That's going to be on you.
Yeah.
So
all of that stuff. Yeah.
And then you're just like, man, this sucks. I don't want to deal with this again. Yeah. And so, rather than being a race to the bottom of price, I think it should be a race to the top of value.
Yeah.
How can I communicate the value that you're going to get from this?
Yeah.
Rather than, in our space, oh, how many coaching sessions will I get? Well, how many do you need?
Yeah. Let's evaluate where you're at. I think I could help you with X, Y, and Z.
Are you an action taker, or are you expecting to sit back and think this is magically going to be like a magic weight loss pill and you don't have to go to the gym or eat less food?
You've got me sitting here reevaluating how I talk to my customers and when I send out prices, because I've been so time poor over the years because I'm an owner operator.
Yeah.
I've got nearly 90% of my business comes through like a Facebook lead, right?
Yep.
And I've kind of automated the start of that process, which I'm guessing is to try get them from a network to a lead.
Yeah.
So they come through, they've seen our video. Okay, cool. They've probably looked at our business. Now they send an inquiry. Hey, what's the average cost of a roof restoration? Or I've got some general questions. But very quickly, I get their property address, which I make it feel like they're a little bit more invested.
Yeah.
Measurement with a price, what's included for that price. From there, they can get a formal quote, because I haven't had enough time to get out to every job. Like I physically wouldn't have enough time.
Oh, totally.
But in saying all this, the model is flawed. It's okay for where I'm at now to be an owner operator, but the model is flawed because they don't get to meet me. I don't get to fully see over the job. So I do run into problems at times. Sometimes the first bit I've seen the job is the day we start.
Yeah.
And because I haven't physically had time to get there. And our model, I've kind of honed that in so we cover everything within our pricing, but it is a flawed model.
But it's the entrepreneur model.
Yeah.
Like there's so much in those early days that requires the grind to it. I suppose being aware of it though It reduces that key person dependency.
Yeah.
If you called it Aaron's Roofing,
Yeah.
there's a challenge in that because, well, now I want Aaron.
Yeah.
You know, and even inside of our business here, we've got the CEO, and he is the face of a lot of what we do. But then he's got team like myself, that go and do like the execution side.
They're the experts in that area. Yeah.
So you bring people around you, and so as you grow in what you're doing, it gets to a point where, okay, I know, and it's a system. Everything has to be a system. It can't just be MSU. I can't just make shit up all the time. It's got to be this clear system. If you can create a system, then you can get a person on to hand that system over to. So sales is a great example. The lead comes in. Yeah, you can say the average roof goes between X and Y. Like, there's nothing wrong in your space for that to move the conversation along.
It kind of gets rid of that.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not hiding it.
Cheap person.
Yeah. I'm not going to hide it. Next step would be for me to get one of my guys to give you a quick call, come out on site and do an assessment. Or is it you getting off the tools of doing the work and you being on the, like, doing all that front end stuff, and you get teams that you're able to now deploy out. So as a business owner, initially you do everything, the chief of freaking everything, right? And then you're like, okay, cool. I need help around my calendar, my bookings, or I need help with ads, or I need help with admin or bookkeeping. And then I need help with delivery, the doing of the job. Product, and then it's sales. So you work out the areas that you can systemize, and then you bring someone on who can do that for you, train them up. Because you think about it, man, like even if it takes them twice as long to do it. If you've given them if it's an hour of your time saved, they might take twice as long to do it, but that hour you're out there getting 10 more jobs.
That's right.
But that's why the system comes in, because when you've got a system, it's measurable.
And you can replicate it. You've got something.
I can replicate it, but you can also forecast as a business owner. So I can go, all right, I know that if I get 100 leads off Facebook ads, if those 100 leads turn into 50 good bookings, 50 good bookings, 40 of them will show up. 40 that show up, I know I'm going to convert 15 of them. So every month I can get 15 sales off 100 ads. Here's the script I use to get my conversions of 15 of them. And I'm like, giddy up. Hey, Bob, here's the script. Call the lead. They can do it now. So now I'm like, all right, I can double my ad spend because I know Bob's going to convert 15. Well, if I now do 15, I can start predicting what's going to come next.
That's great.
So, but yeah, man, it's just getting clear on coming back to it on what we communicate when. And if you're just at the front end, if your Facebook ad is just like, here's the dollar per meter rate, or whatever, however you price, like square meter rate or whatever it is, you know, yes, people are just going to go and go, well, that guy over there is cheaper. As soon as you mention money, they will start the comparison game. And so it's not about the money, it's about the outcome. And that's the communication part. What is the outcome they want? Is it convenience? Is it speed? Or is it cheap? I don't market in cheap because I don't want those people. I want the people who want convenience. It's easy to do. It requires zero effort from me. And I want it done fast. If I can solve fast and easy for you, most people are willing to pay for that, or certainly the ones you want to work with are.
100%. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
So, small business owners out there. Let's give them a practical example, right? So, I'm trying to generate interest for a podcast that at the moment is a passion project for me. But if I want to land a customer that wants to share their story, let's execute a sales pitch. Let's use a real life example.
Okay. All right. So, first thing, why do they want to be on a podcast?
To share their story about who they are, bring some authenticity to their business, how they started their business. They want to show their audience. See, I'm not communicating this well now. This is why we're doing this podcast. This is why we're doing this podcast. So they want to bring value to their business, show that they are a person, how the business started, bring some authenticity around their business.
Cool. By having those things, what will that give them?
More sales.
More sales. money.
Yeah.
Without being crass about it, at the end of the day, what does every business owner want?
Money.
They want to make more sales.
Yeah.
Whether that more sales is so they can have, or it's either time, lifestyle, money,
freedom,
right?
Yeah, 100%.
Or time, freedom, money.
Yeah.
They all link together.
Yeah.
So why do I want to be in a podcast with you? Because the additional exposure you will get will help you reach a bigger audience and generate more income as a business.
Boom.
But that's it.
I'm glad we're recording this.
That's going to be, so it's getting really clear on the outcome. What is it? It's a podcast.
Yeah.
What does it do? It helps you reach a bigger audience and build your authority, build your brand. Why is it important? Because by doing that, you will make more sales.
I'm never working on a roof again.
and you build that out, you build that out. And so if over time, as you're doing this, you'll be able to get case studies in.
Yeah.
And this is the great thing that you already do with the roofing.
Yeah.
And I said it before, the before and afters, you've got case studies now that you can go to and say, this is what it looks like. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but if you've ever got people that are selling their home, it'd be interesting to talk to real estate agents about that visual impact of, well, how much does it help someone? Like if I was in that space, I'd get a real estate agent or a valuer out and be like, hey, you come and look at this house. Or if someone's coming to walk through this house and the first thing they see is a filthy roof.
Yeah.
You know, how much is that impacting the cost of the value of the house, the time to sell? So if you get your roof cleaned up and it's fixed up and it's leak free, it reduces time to sale, it increases the value of sale, speed and money.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that would be great. And we'll do it all for you, convenience.
Yeah.
Speed, money, convenience.
Wow.
Value. So then you put it into the podcast thing. Hey, I come like today. I'll come to you.
Yeah.
Like that was the conversation. It's like, man, let's have this conversation.
Yeah.
Great, totally. Can we do
How
it?
can we make it work?
How do we make it work? I'll come to you.
Yeah.
The guys aren't available on that day. It's like I've got a studio. Let's use our kit. Hopefully this comes out all right on the other end. But it's like convenience. We come to you. We work around your schedule.
Yeah.
We have an audience of X.
Yeah.
And as your audience grows, that grows. Is your audience my ideal customer?
Yeah.
You know, or are you saying, hey, we'll do this. We'll provide you the full-length copy so you can put it on your socials.
Yeah.
We'll provide you with 7 micro-contents
Yeah.
for real. Like, you build out the value stack on it. And it's like, you're going to get all of these assets. You'll be able to put it out to your audience. We can put your QR code in the corner so people can take that next step. Like, whatever those things are, you build out the value of it, and it just becomes like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And then over time, you'll be able to measure which bits of those value are useful, which bits aren't. Trim some stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
get it down to that hot 30 seconds or whatever it needs to be.
That's exactly it. But even as a business owner, and this is great for anyone who wants to start business, at the front end, you always over-deliver.
Yeah.
Under-promise, over-deliver.
Yeah.
Over time, you work out, okay, which parts don't we need? Snip, snip, snip.
Yeah.
Bonsai plant.
Yeah.
Trim it down until you've got this really clear, great. We'll come and do a podcast with you. We've got an audience of 10,000 that would benefit from your service. As well, we're going to give you 20-minute this with 7 of these. It can be turned into, and this is where your AI comes in. We'll turn it into email content. We can turn it into stills, quote cards. So you stack value, stack value, stack value, stack value. You're delivering this package. And we're going to come to you for convenience. It's going to be easy. We're going to do it all for you. We'll deliver it to you in this little wrap bow. And it's going to help you do this. The last 3 people we did podcasts with, their audience grew by X, and they said that they could testify to 3 new sales off the back of having that opportunity, or inquiries, whatever it is.
That's awesome. Well, I got you in the hot seat. Give me that elevator pitch. 30 seconds on the clock. Where's my clock? I don't have one. I'll count it in my head. Yeah, you can count in your head. I haven't got one up, but you're gonna see what a rookie at this looks like, and then we're gonna switch over to an expert, And this is all improvised. This isn't scripted. So we're going to make mistakes. I had somebody call me out on a mistake in a podcast just on the way here, actually. I was like, awesome, dude, at least you know it's authentic.
Best thing, so free one before we get to it. The best thing you could ever do is put some content out with a spelling mistake in it. Your engagement goes to the roof because you'll always get that grammar Nazi, or whatever they're called today.
My one was, I was trying to say 2020 and I said 2020. And so I was like, 2020. I was like, hey, I messed that one up, but at least you know it's authentic.
Yeah, great. It's
Two comments.
made you look.
Yeah, 100%.
You commented, it's in your head.
Yeah, now you know.
So 30-second pitch, what are we doing?
Yeah, all right. We're going to do the podcast. We're talking about that. So I'm going to have a crack.
Yep.
And then you are just going to dominate me and I'm just going to be the submissive guy sitting over here. All right.
You got it. Go.
What's going on, legends? My name is Aaron and I run a storytelling podcast. What is a storytelling podcast? It's where we meet up with businesses, we highlight that business, and by doing so, you get to bring your authentic self, drive engagement, and bring more sales into your business. So I'd love to hear from you. Please reach out, shoot me a DM.
All right. Cool.
I missed so many parts we spoke about because I was nervous.
I got to think my way through it. Give me a second just to formulate in my brain if I was doing this for a social post. Okay, this is
testing.
It takes time to brew.
You guys watching this? I just hit it. Vaughn's thinking about it. This probably always good at it.
Let's go. Hey, my name is Vaughn, and if you've been looking for an opportunity to get more exposure and increase the drive of sales and leads into your business, then we'd love to have you and interview you on our podcast. You'll get greater exposure, you'll get greater opportunity to reach more people, bring them into your world, and build your authority as a business. I've only got 5 spots available between now and the end of the year, so if that's you, click the link below and we'd love to have a chat.
Boom. All right, now I'm going to edit this reel, so drop a poll. Who are you voting for? That was awesome, man. So something I want to touch on just off the back of that, because I see this all the time, and you would probably know the psychological why.
Hit me.
You mentioned 5 businesses. I see this number getting thrown out all the time by sales guys, especially like PTs. I'm looking for 5 business owners. I'm looking for 5 busy people, yada, yada. I see it on posters in my gym all the time. Why do we do that? Is that creating a scarcity? Scarcity, okay.
So whether it's 5 or 3 or 2 or whatever it is, and the biggest thing I can say is if you're going to say it's 5, only bring on 5.
Yeah, okay.
Don't be the person that's like, oh, I've only got 2 spots available, and then everyone signs up and there's 40 people.
Yeah.
Be genuine to it. Like when I say 5, I know what my capacity is as a business owner or in the business. But it's about creating scarcity. So don't use it all of the time.
Yeah, of course.
It could be 2. I've got 2 spots left in the calendar.
Yeah.
Particularly like we've got a friend who's a photographer.
Yeah.
And so for them, I literally have 52 weekends in a year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on holidays with my family for 4 weeks.
Yep.
So now I've only got 48 weekends in a year.
Yep.
Saturdays and Sundays, but I don't want to do back-to-backs because I'm doing editing as well. So I literally have 48 spots available this year. Unless you're one of those people that wants to do a midweek wedding, then we could talk.
Yeah.
But maybe you've got a full-time job as well. So it's like a hobby job.
Yeah.
Like the
building your business.
I'm building a business Monday to Friday. This is a hobby business.
Yeah, you got kids, you might not need to do every weekend.
Yeah, that's it. So you want to be able to balance that out. So just be honest and transparent with what it is.
Yeah.
If you're doing a podcast, I'm doing 1 a month.
Yeah, totally.
So I've only got...
Yeah, I've got 6 spots this year to fill.
So it's just like, great, I've only got July, August and November available.
Yeah.
If that's you, if you want to get greater exposure, if you want an opportunity to reach a wider audience and bring in more opportunity for your business, then let's talk.
Yeah, so good.
So scarcity, value.
Yeah.
So you can put scarcity on it. You want to put value on it. And it might not work in that short little buzz there.
Yeah.
But in return for 40 minutes of your time, we'll give you all the content that you need.
Yeah.
We'll give you all the edited content with subtitles ready to go to your socials team, as well as the original interview that you can use on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so good. Well, we've covered some awesome stuff here. I'm going to go away and reevaluate my whole business after this chat. But I love to give everyone just a top tip. So if you had a top tip where they can just start, because I think it's not about, we spoke about this upstairs in the kitchen. It's not about, you know, just jamming everything and nothing gets done. Yep. I think it's just actionable steps and it's actually being consistent and just starting. Yeah. A lot of people get stuck and they just don't start. So where can somebody start if they want to be a better communicator?
Oh, well...
Engage expert projects. That's where they can start.
No, with this.
Yeah.
Start with that and hold it up and record yourself into it. I think one of the best pieces of advice I had around communication is if you can't communicate your idea in 90 seconds, 60 seconds or less, you haven't thought about it enough.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about doing reels on Instagram, for example, 60, 90 second window, get it into that. Practice doing it into that.
That's great.
But just start. It doesn't need to be polished. It doesn't need to be perfect.
Yeah.
Just start. I mean, don't have the kids' laundry in the background while they're tearing each other apart. But yeah, just get in front of it. Practice it, start, and put it out there.
Yeah, get the feedback.
Oh, but everyone does it. If no one can see you, no one will see you.
Yeah.
So you've just got to start, but just use a phone and get stuck into it.
So good, man. Hey, thank you so much for catching up with me today. I appreciate you taking the time. It was good just to see you in general, even away from this. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Good work, man.
Awesome.